And there they go.
Welcome back to RacingNews.com. I'm Magic, and the 2022 Kentucky Derby Future Wager Pool number 2 starts this Friday, January 21st, runs through January 23rd. Plenty of options here, 24 total entries, 23 of them at good prices. And with me to talk about that is Mike Somich. Mike, your nickname Somobomb because you're good at finding value in places others can't. Plenty of value here. As long as you don't pick the 7-5, all of the 3-year-old, there's plenty of value. But talk to me about what sticks out to you first when you see the Pool 2 entries here.
Well, a good friend once told me there's not much value in a losing ticket, and that definitely is part of the problem here with the future wagers. First off, just to reiterate, I'm not looking for any short prices here. The favorite should be all other 3-year-olds. That's the correct favorite. Source is 7-5 in the morning line. Went off at 3-5 in the first future pool. I have no interest in taking 3-5 on pretty much anything, let alone a race that's coming months out from here, right? So, just holding your money for 80 cents on the dollar isn't even that great of an idea because you're not going to get paid for an additional 4 months until this actual race happens. So I look through it. I'm like, okay, well, what prices do I like here? I mean, I kind of like Epicenter at 15-1. You know, I'm a little interested in Trafalgar at 50-1, but there's a problem. Do you know what that problem is, Magic? They're both running this weekend. So by the time this pool closes, if either of them wins, that horse is going to get bet way down, which makes it really hard for me to recommend either of those on this video because I think you're going to get no value on the winner of that race if it does come into this pool. So I think you almost have to throw out the horses that are running at Fairgrounds this weekend and look toward the rest of it. So when I do that, the one that jumps out to me is 50-1 in Emmanuel. I think that might be the best long price here to take a swing with if you want to. I think you'll actually get over 50-1 once this pool closes because I think Smile Happy will take money. I think 7-5 is a pipe dream on all of the 3-year-olds. I think that's going to go off at 2-5 or 3-5. And you're going to see a lot of these float up. If you look at the first odds pool, you had Smile Happy, who was pretty low, but after that, you were getting some banger of prices. I mean, Trafalgar, one of the horses I mentioned, went off at 98-1 in that spot. The second choice of a solo horse actually went off at 10-1 with Jack Christopher, and then 21-1 with Rattle and Roll. 2 horses I have no interest in betting. So this is definitely a good pool if you like a couple of the horses that are longer prices.
One horse I think that will probably not be anywhere close to his morning line odds is all the way on the rail, proverbially. Chasing Time, this horse was a very impressive winner, stretching out for the first time at Oaklawn Park for Steve Asmussen, but he is owned solely by the My Racehorse ownership group, and there are approximately 3,200 of those folks, give or take, and they're all very passionate about this horse. They love him, as they should be excited about him. However, they're probably going to bet him down a lot from 20-1 on this spot. But plenty of new names in here, including Emmanuel, and I'm with you. I don't see what this horse has done anything wrong. He did miss a start at Tampa Bay Downs because he spiked a fever, but he's already returned back to the work tab, so seems like everything is all go there. I'm with you. 50-1, maybe it rises up on us a little bit here over the weekend.
Yeah, I think that's the horse that I would recommend if I was going to take anybody. I don't hate the idea of boxing up an exacta with a couple horses in here. You do have an exacta pool, which I think is pretty awesome for this. You get some crazy odds if you're able to hit the solo horses. I would do an exacta box. I would take one of our draft picks, White Barrio. I would take Emmanuel, and then I'd put in the all other 3-year-olds there. And you're hoping that one of those 2 horses ends up running first or second, and you get just a smorgasbord of other horses that have to run in the other spot in the exacta, and you're able to cash pretty nice. And God forbid they run 1-2 in the Derby. You can buy a new house with what that might pay out.
Well, and all of the 3-year-olds, a big reason, Mike, that is 7-5 is you notice there are no Bob Baffert horses on this list. And it's because currently, as it stands right now on January 19th, none of his horses in his name or in his assistant's name may earn points on the Kentucky Derby or compete in the Kentucky Derby itself. So it makes sense that they wouldn't be able to be bet on to win the Kentucky Derby here. So that 7-5 does kind of include that if something changes and Bob Baffert horses are allowed to run, and we know he's got plenty of good ones, that's kind of why you see 7-5 there. But there is plenty of value. As Mike said, doing the exacta can work. I did that once going into Kentucky Derby. It makes your betting of the actual race a lot different when you realize, hey, if these horses come in 1-2 in either order, I'm going to win a lot of money, so maybe I can kind of dab a little bit elsewhere. But plenty of other ways. Any other final thoughts on this pool, Mike? Do you think it's worth betting a lot of money, or do you recommend people really hold back and wait for later pools?
So first off, I wouldn't recommend betting a ton. The first pool got $235,000 worth of handle, so not that big of a number. I would highly recommend not playing all of the 3-year-olds, like I mentioned. It's by far the most likely winner, and maybe even has value at 3-5. But again, you're tying your money up for months, and that is a huge issue. And we had the COVID Derby where people had their money tied up in these pools for 8, 9, 10 months, and that's brutal, especially when you're getting those odds and 8-9 months later, the race is being run. It's absolutely crazy. One thing I would do is say shop it around. Don't bet early into this pool, bet a little bit later into it, and make sure that you check. We've got a lot of legal options here in the U.S. now. They're all offering Kentucky Derby odds. Vegas has Kentucky Derby odds out. If you're going out for NHC, things like that, check what people are offering around the live odds or the fixed odds market, and see if you can get a better fixed odds price than you can in this pari-mutuel odds board, where you're going to have fluctuation right until the last minute. So I would definitely say shop around, look at what other odds are out there you can get there. If you like a horse that's not on the list, I'm sure you can get fixed odds somewhere on them. So just make sure you do your due diligence before putting money into this pool.
My final recommendation would be set yourself a timer, a little alarm on Sunday afternoon. This is scheduled to end at 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, so maybe set it a few hours before that just to remind yourself to go back and check this, because, hey, if you like Emmanuel and he ends up going off at 75-1 and you didn't put any money on it because you missed your alarm, well, you're going to be pretty upset. So make sure you set that alarm. Make sure you go to racenews.com. We have free picks for every race, every track around the country. We also have full Kentucky Derby coverage both on the site and on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/racingdudes. Hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you really like it. Tell all your friends. We'll see you at the track.
Racing Dudes Preview. Racing Dudes Preview.
And there they go.